So these are the three dishes that I really love when I'm trying to stay on track. The first being shrimp teriyaki, the second being chicken bruschetta with homemade tomato sauce and low carb pasta, and the third being low carb wrap tacos, sometimes with beef and sometimes I make it with turkey. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. So for this dish, it was called shrimp teriyaki. It was really good. It had a lot of protein, low in calories, and pretty low in carbs as well. It had 481 calories total, 51 grams of carbohydrates, 14 grams of fat, and 35 grams of protein. I'm going to use 2 whole carrots, 1 head of broccoli, and 1 red pepper. This recipe called for 1 pound of medium-sized shrimp, so I bought the 30 to 60, 40 count, and it was deveined. I needed 2 cups of broccoli cut into bite-sized pieces, then 2 carrots that were cut into small matchstick carrots. You can buy the grated ones, but I think these are much fresher if you get real carrots and you cut them into little matchsticks. And then just to end it, you get a bell pepper and you cut it into thin slices. You can go ahead and cut those in half again if they're too big, but make sure to cut them into small bite-sized pieces. On medium heat with just a little bit of oil, I use grapeseed oil. Cook that for about 2.5 to 3 minutes at the max. It might look a little pink, but that's what it's supposed to look like. Then take it off and let it set. Okay, for the stir-fry sauce, I used 1/4 cup packed brown sugar. I used 1 teaspoon of fresh ginger that I grated, 2 garlic cloves that were minced, 3 tablespoons of mirin, 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos in place of soy sauce to reduce the sodium, 1 teaspoon of rice vinegar, or you could use apple cider vinegar, and then 1/2 cup of chicken broth. And then to make it all come together, I put in 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. Then I went ahead and boiled up some rice noodles and put the whole package in. This is for 6 people and the calories were only 481 and the carbs were 51. So it wasn't too bad for the macros and it was really delicious. This next dish was chicken bruschetta. It had 541 calories, 56 grams of carbs, 19 grams of fat, and 41 grams of protein. It was really delicious, full of high fiber, and the tomatoes made it amazing. For this recipe, we're going to go ahead and marinate the chicken. We're going to put 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, kosher salt to taste, about 1/2 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of dried basil. You put that on top of 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts that have been butterflied, and you marinate in the refrigerator for 2 hours. So for the bruschetta part, we're going to take 2 cups of cherry tomatoes and chop them finely, 2 garlic cloves minced, 5 tablespoons, of chopped basil, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This box of prebiotic high fiber pasta, I've used it before and it's really good, and it makes the pasta really filling. I really like it, and I plan on using more like the chickpea pasta and the other bean pastas in the future, but I really like this one for now. I made homemade sauce. I made it from a recipe called Not Another Cooking Show. It's his sauce, and basically it's 1 can of San Marzano tomatoes chopped in a food processor, 1 sprig of basil, not bagel, 4 cloves of garlic, and 4 tablespoons of olive oil. And what you do is you put the olive oil on the bottom of the pan, you put the garlic in there and the basil. You let it go for about 10 minutes until the basil becomes infused in the oil. Then you take the basil out because it's a big sprig of it, and you put the crushed tomatoes in there and let it simmer for about 45 minutes to an hour, and it's super delicious and healthy. And then also throughout, you're going to want to salt it depending on your preference. These are, tomatoes, no salted tomatoes. So you're going to want to add I added 2 teaspoons worth of salt in mine to get it right. Then to put it all together, you take the chicken that you fried up and you're going to put 1 piece of mozzarella on each piece and microwave it for all 4 pieces for about a minute till it melts. Then put the pasta on the side and put the bruschetta on top, and it is super delicious. It's worth each of those steps, and my family had it for 2 nights and we absolutely loved it. So the third dish we had this week was beef tacos. It was 578 calories. It had 36 grams of carbs, 40 grams of fat, which is a little high, and 24 grams of protein. I did use 93% lean ground beef. I've been told that grass-fed beef is the best beef to buy, so I'm going to try that next time. The ground beef in the pot and ground it up until it got all the pink out. Then I added the taco seasoning mix. I tried to get the low sodium version from Thrive Market, but it didn't show up. So hopefully next time when I order, they will be able to send that to me. Simply needed 3/4 cup of water to put in the skillet with the ground beef mixture. Up a little bit of red cabbage and put it in the taco. So delicious. Then we used a couple of jalapenos on top. Really good. Highly suggest that. Then I made some, cut up some red onion. And we had the tomatoes from yesterday, the bruschetta tomatoes. Those are super delicious. This is a taco folded. And then here you can see the taco on the inside. Is really good. I did put sriracha mayo on there as well, and it was one of the best tacos I've ever had. Super good, a little bit high on fat, but in general it was low calorie. I was full from the carb tortillas and the protein from the beef. Really good.